I think when people think of your first film, they usually think of Gandhi. But you did a British film, did you not? Fear is the Key?
That was a feature film, yes, yes. And my billing now, whenever it's shown on television, which initially was microscopic, is now climbing higher and higher and higher, and the letters are getting huger and huger. It bears no relation to the size of the role I'm playing in the film, but it's quite funny, really.
I'm wondering, after Gandhi and all the awards and the Oscar and everything, were you satisfied with the amount of job offers or acting roles you were getting?
God, yes.
Types?
Colossal. Constant stream. I decided to do my one-man play on Broadway and in London in '84, and then I went back to the Royal Shakespeare Company in '85, '86. So that, in a sense, blocked off my availability to do movies for those 2 years. But around those 2 years and during, I did get, and still do, get a constant stream of scripts to read and projects to consider, but I won't and can't do anything. I have made some bad choices, I have made mistakes, but I think that overwhelmingly the directors I work with and the scripts that I've done, I've thoroughly enjoyed, and quite frankly, I'd rather do something I'm enjoying and feel really good about than do something that I feel is actually destroying me and injuring my self-worth.
When you were in Poland with this film, how widely known did you find that people, did people recognize you quite often?
Gandhi was a very, very successful film in Europe, and it's the kind of film that people see, it's available to them every year. A lot of people think that it's a very recent film, particularly in Europe. They think it was made about 4 years ago. So this is great. I mean, I was at the receiving end of a lot of congratulations, respect, particularly from the students, the young people, young artists, writers, musicians. We used to go to a wonderful cafe in Krakow, Palace Poczetów, and I was always feted and welcomed there, which is great because you're playing such a grim, painful role that to be welcomed and made to feel comfortable in the evenings, having been spat at and stoned and pushed around by the SS all day, is a welcome relief. You know.
I was wondering that when you're dealing with such horrific subject matter, were you concerned going in how the crew and the cast would be able to handle that day in and day out?
I think you in a sense, you are. You have a responsibility, as I said earlier, to the audience to present to them the unimaginable. It goes beyond our imagination, what we're trying to present to the audience here. It has been captured on documentary footage, but even then you can witness it and sit there in total disbelief. I think that paradoxically, to dramatize, to turn this into a great dramatic document, will help the audiences believe more than written accounts, photographs, and documentary film. But there is therefore a responsibility throughout filming that you keep it as simple and as truthful and as honest as possible. And it's clear to me that Spielberg surrounded himself with like-minded people, none of whom would deviate from that simple task. All would support the task and him in presenting something as purely and simply as possible. And that's really what kept us all together, and that's what got us through every day with joy. I mean, a lot of joy in telling the story and creating it. Kind of triumph in saying, look at this, you know.
And one final question on this, on the lighter side. We're doing a
feature.
Okay. Doing a feature on the Oscars. I'm just curious.
The Oscars.
when you were driving in the limousine to the Oscar ceremonies
With Richard Attenborough.
the first time,
With Richard Attenborough and Sheila. Yeah.
what
And
what
he said, what was he? Who was he getting ready to applaud? I don't know. I think it was Missing or Tootsie or one of those wonderful films. He also said, if it wins Best Picture, Joe Levine will put his walking stick through the television screen. Then on the way back, Dickie said, well, of course he won't put his walking stick through the television screen. He's just made $6 million. Just like that, because he had a percentage of the film, Joe Levine. Funny little stories in limousines. Walking sticks and money and television screens. And it's all nerves. It's all nerves. Nerve talk.